So you've booked your first cruise. Congratulations.
Yes, that's the fun part. But before you leave home, we have a list of things that you need to take care of, because if you don't, you might not be able to get on board that ship after all. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Marshall.
And welcome back to the channel. This is video number 2 in our series, which is called
First Time Cruiser Academy.
So we'll link the first video that we filmed last week and put that in the description below. But today's video, we're talking about all the things you need to do before you leave your house to go on your cruise.
I mean, you've got your cruise. What do you do to get to the port? This is it. First thing is you have to make sure you have the right documentation. It sounds easy and can be easy, but you really do need to know a few things.
Yes, first of all, we always travel with our passports. We think that is the easiest route. And if we had one piece of advice for you, we would say just go ahead and get a passport. Now you might wonder, do I get a passport card or a passport book? We recommend getting the book.
We would definitely go with the passport book because no matter what could happen on this vacation, on this cruise, the passport book is always good. Passport card gets you on and off if you're leaving from the same port in the United States. But if you have any sort of other issues, the passport book is definitely the way to go. So that's why we recommend it.
Yes. Now, like Marshall said, if you're getting on and off the same port in the US, you might be able to get by with the passport card and possibly even a birth certificate and a photo ID, such as a driver's license. But like you said, if anything happens, maybe there's a medical incident, or maybe you went on an excursion and you got too late back to port and the ship left without you, you're gonna need your passport.
Yeah, bottom line, it's a strong recommendation from us.
And one more note about the passport. Sometimes it can take months to get that processed and for you to receive that in the mail. So our recommendation is to get started on that as soon as possible. Hopefully you'll have several weeks, possibly even several months until your cruise, so you'll have plenty of time to get that done. But sometimes they do get backed up, so get started on that earlier than you think you might need to get started on that. Next, our recommendation would be to download the cruise lines app. I think all of the cruise lines at this point have one, and you get all the information about all the things right there in your app.
Yeah, it's really a necessity now. We've been cruising for over 10 years and they didn't have an app, and then all of a sudden they had an app as kind of an option. Now there's so much information there. You should download it right away. You can look up excursions, you can book dining reservations, you can even begin to see what entertainment they have there as they load it up. So it's really a great way to get the most current information about your sailing months in advance. But maybe the most important thing happens, 30 days out to 60 plus days out, and that's your online check-in.
Yes, that's where you'll get your boarding pass or your set sail pass or whatever your cruise line is calling it. That's where you'll check in, upload your documents, get all set to get at the port. And without your proper documentation, including your passport and your set sail pass or boarding pass, you won't be able to get on board that ship. So make sure you do go ahead and get that app.
So you mentioned in the app you can get your boarding passes. If this is your first cruise, we're kind of just going to do another recommendation here, which is, in this case, also print out your boarding pass. Now, honestly, the first number of cruises, we printed everything out, like what would happen if the internet was down or if my phone ran out of power. So we always print it out. Do we print it out all the time now? No. So you don't have to do that, but as a recommendation, so you just have the most comfort on your first cruise, showing up at the terminal. You can use the online app, but if something goes wrong, you got the paper version.
Yeah.
So until you get super comfortable, paper backup is the way to go.
Yeah, even now, even though like in the app it had the boarding pass, I still just screenshot it so I have it in my photo camera roll. I like make sure Marshall has them too, so that way if for some reason I can't find mine right away, Marshall has it or vice versa. So it's just, it alleviate a lot of stress if you just go ahead and print it out. It's one piece of paper.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but like we get out of the car, we're walking to the terminal, there's like that 15 seconds of like, will the boarding pass show up on my phone? And like I said, 99 times out of 100 it shows up, if not even more. But if you're not used to it, it's just nice to know you've got that printout ready to go. So now you've got to deal with your luggage, and you certainly have a lot of videos about packing, but how do you get the luggage to your cabin? And you're kind of the expert. You've always taken charge of this.
Yes, that's definitely my area.
I agree.
So one of the documents you will get once you check in, you will get your important documents, and one of the pages of those important documents is a luggage tag. It takes up one full sheet of paper. The middle section is the luggage tag, and they tell you which way to fold it or whatnot, and then you wrap that around the handle of your luggage and staple it. Some people tape it. We always staple it. The other thing that we have done is we have gone to Amazon and purchased the Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, because those are the cruise lines that we sail the most. They have on Amazon these plastic
holders.
Pouches type of thing that you put the paper into, and it sort of zips up like a Ziploc bag, and then it has a little metal wire that you can screw onto the handle. That to me is a little bit more secure, and all of the cruise lines have those types of luggage tags holders on Amazon. The other thing is it has your room number, and then you always just put I always just put our last name on that luggage tag, but you need the luggage tag for every piece of luggage that you are going to check in with the porter. You just hand it over with that luggage tag on it to the porter at the dock, and they will put it onto the ship for you, and then your stateroom attendants bring it up to your the general area of your room on the ship. Now that is only for your checked bag. It is also very important that you do carry something on, okay, like a little satchel or a little tote bag, or maybe even a very small suitcase. This carry-on bag is where you will put the very important things that should not be checked. Very important things such as your passport, your boarding pass, your medications. That is critically important. Do not put your medications in a checked bag. It can take hours for the luggage to get up to the floor, the deck of the ship where your room is. Make sure you have your medications in that bag with you. The other thing that people might want to pack is in that carry-on would be a bathing suit if you want to get into the pool, maybe a change of clothes for dinner if you want to change your clothes for dinner. What else would be in the carry-on bag?
Yeah, no, you can look at it this way. Your luggage may show up there mid-afternoon. Sometimes it may bleed into the evening. So anything you think you need, even beyond those essentials, to when you get all of your other luggage, pack in a carry-on.
Oh, the other thing I always make sure I have in there is my electronics and my chargers. So laptop, iPad, iPhone, with all the chargers for those things, I always carry on as well.
You just mentioned medications with your carry-on, but there needs to be a little bit more thoughtful process as part of your pre-boarding.
Yeah, so if you're going on a 7-day cruise, do not bring just 7 days of medication. We have had experiences where there's a storm and the ship gets delayed, so maybe you're on board for another day, sometimes 2. Make sure you have more than the duration of your cruise and your quantity of meds. The other thing is, if you do need a refrigerator say for insulin, like my dad,
Right.
that needs to be requested. There's usually a special needs form that the cruise line has. You just put in there what you need and they'll make sure that that is in your room. If you have a CPAP machine and you need an extension cord, don't even try to bring an extension cord on board. It will get confiscated. They will supply you with an extension cord. The other thing about medications I wanted to say is make sure that your meds are in their original bottles, packages, whatever, labeled with their original labeling. Again, just in case you, for some reason, need to fly home, for if anything happens, some countries do require that you have your medications in their original containers with the full prescription information on the bottle. So that was a lot to say about meds, but it's really important information. And make sure you check your cruise line's rules on that sort of thing as well. One of the things we do not travel without is travel insurance. There's lots of different types available. The cruise lines do offer that when you book the cruise, or sometimes different credit cards have travel insurance. Do you have any?
Yeah, so travel insurance is a interesting word, right? Because it can cover a lot of different things. We're talking about pretty much a comprehensive coverage, which means travel interruption, or somebody gets sick and you can't make the trip, then you get your money back. But also, what if it happens if you have a medical emergency in a foreign country? So travel insurance that's comprehensive will also cover that. Now, by and large, and I just did some research on this, different travel insurance companies have different rates, but by and large, you can assume that's going to be 5 to 10% of the price of the trip. It's just peace of mind. Now, we have it through our credit card, and we pay a fairly large yearly fee, but it's mostly because we want that comprehensive insurance for us. So we highly recommend it. It's peace of mind, and honestly, we have used it ourselves.
Yes. We made a video about that, which we can link below. We did have a family emergency, and we did need to use that credit card's travel insurance, and we talked about the whole process and what happened. So we'll link that below. We'll also link for you the link to our Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card that offers that. If you travel a lot, it might be something for you to consider.
So we're talking about things you need to do before you cruise. Well, this one is get yourself out the door a day before your cruise. If you're flying in, leave the day before so you can get to your port, unwind, and make sure you're there. There's no delays in your travel, and then you can go to the ship the next day knowing you can get there in plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. The hotel fee that you'll pay to stay the night before is obviously going to be an expense, but we think it's worth it. We used to live in Maine and we used to travel to Florida, and there were many, many times, especially if we were traveling in the winter time, that the flight got delayed or sometimes it got canceled. So knowing we had that extra day buffer was definitely a stress reliever.
Yeah, and we've always used winter as a great example. We have flown most recently in the last couple months in the summertime, and in Florida, you are often delayed because of thunderstorms.
Yes.
And you would hate, even if you're taking a summer family cruise vacation and you're leaving the same day and there's thunderstorms and they send you to Georgia for a few hours, you've missed your cruise.
Yeah.
So any time of the year, definitely fly in a day beforehand.
Yes. So that is our list. We will put together a little checklist for you down below. You can see it in the description box. But basically, here's the list. And also another quick tip is to make sure to check the rules and requirements for the cruise line that you're sailing. We've generalized here, but there might be something very specific that your cruise line requires. So just also make sure to check with your cruise line. They have all their stuff online, so you can just go to their website and find all the necessary pieces of information that we may not have shared today.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Take care.